We might disagree on almost everything, but it's not going to stop me from loving you and being your friend, and you being mine. Steven, Destiny.
Hi.
Donnell, welcome.
What's up, bud?
What's up, brother? I love you, man. Okay. I love you.
I love you too.
To the right of Steven, which, by the way, I want to get the... Are
you okay?
Dude, Trent, you didn't introduce me yet.
Do you know how Mr. Moon calls you Steve? I want to get that out of there, dude. It has to be Steven or Destiny. How do you feel about that?
What about Dest?
Or Dest. Yeah, that's right. Sorry, that's right.
Destiny is a girl's name.
No, it's not.
What the fuck is going on with this goddamn is it Popeyes shit?
Popeye's chicken?
Chicken sandwich?
Yes. I don't know what's going on with it, dude, but I can never get one. They're always fucking out.
Why?
Is it in Canada?
Let's be real. Let's be fucking real. Chick-fil-A is the best chicken sandwich in the country. Yeah, they
Chick-fil-A
might be
is good.
They might be supporting, the destruction of all gay people in the world, but you know what? They still have the best chicken sandwich. This whole
I think Chick-fil-A is easily one of the best restaurants when it comes to looking at the most overrated restaurants in America. It's right up there with Five Guys and In-N-Out for how insanely
No. Chick-fil-A is honestly fucking good as fuck because the sauce.
Yes.
And
without the sauce.
Let's be honest.
Yep.
The sauce is like better than everything. Like it just makes everything better.
Agreed.
The fries are good too.
Agreed.
You should start making your own food. That's so much better.
Dude, Poke, I agre with you on every...
Get the fuck out of here, Canute. Kick Canute out of the fucking call.
Just get some fruits and walk around. And...
Wait, was that British or Norwegian or what?
No,
what the fuck was that?
No.
Americans and like the Western world eat so much bread, and
That's
it's
just
really
so bad
one of
for
the
you.
worst. It's one of the worst things for you, and we eat like more bread than.
Yeah.
Bread is good for
We
you.
put bread
Bread's
with
good for
every-
you.
Bread is not good for you.
Yes,
Bread
it
is fucking up.
Anybody remember the old style fucking food pyramid from school where we were supposed to eat like 30 servings of bread per day? Holy shit, dude.
Holy shit. Wow,
Wait, since we're all old, I wonder how many people remember this. Apparently they brought these back, but I haven't seen it. Has anybody here ever fucking had Cine Minis at Burger King before?
So who?
What the fuck is singing?
Oh,
You like
fuck
dip it in a
me,
little cup or
dude.
something?
God
Who
damn
the
it.
fuck
never
is
mind.
eating Burger King?
The little cinnamon sticks.
Yes.
No,
They weren't cinnamon sticks. They were little cinnamon rolls that came with like a...
rolls, and they
Dude,
put them in like
these things
syrup.
were like the best things. They came with like a cream cheese thing. These were literally some of the best things that America fucking made, period. Full stop. It's like up there
It was
with like
Burger
fucking...
King, right?
Like the microprocessors, civil rights, and then fucking Cine Minis from Burger King, dude. Holy shit, that
Civil
was some
rights?
insane fucking shit.
The reason I like Call of Duty so much, I'm telling you right now, it will bring you back to those old days of Destiny. I'm telling you right now, dude, like, this game, I felt like I went back in time 10 years. Listen,
Okay.
they didn't care
Oh,
about they didn't care about any political message, like as far as like offending. Obviously,
There was
there's
no political message.
no, wait. Okay, wait. There was political messages. There was political messages. Wait.
Wait. Let's just not go down that road.
No,
We're
okay.
gonna close that door and we're gonna walk back the other way. Okay?
Listen.
Remember the Call of Duty where the
Okay.
guy, like...
Wait, so real quick, I gotta correct
Go.
myself. There were political messages. Okay, I'm sorry I said that. You're right, there were. But what I mean is, like, as far as like game scope, they didn't care to offend anyone. At least it seemed like.
I think the problem was that there were some like historical atrocities that I think the Americans or the Germans maybe committed. The Americans committed, and they basically just rewrote it to have Russia do it instead.
No, Americans never did anything wrong.
Supposedly there was some road where troops were retreating down this road or something, and America like shelled the fuck out of this road and killed all the retreating people. And in the game they made Russians do it or something. I think.
Oh, I remember that part of the game. Yes,
Yeah,
it's
the
where
map,
you...
the level is called Highway of Death. I'm trying to find it.
What you're saying, Destiny, is they actually changed it to be Russians instead. Then
I think like it would be the equivalent if we were playing a video game and we were playing like as like the Saudi Arabian like secret agents, and then all of a sudden we had like two massive buildings get like kamikaze airplane into them by like American pilots, and it was like their 9/11, but basically we did it instead of them. It would be like the equivalent of that. Maybe not quite that extreme, but that's kind of how it feels like, I guess, as a Russian when you're playing it. Like, well, hold on, wait, like why the fuck is Russian? Well, why are Russians being branded as people doing this when Americans literally did?
right?
I mean, shit. I mean, I guess at the end of the day, I'm not trying to like get killed. So yeah, what a terrible game, dude. That is disgusting.
No, shut the fuck up. It was a fine game. Don't make it political. I'm just saying, don't take a game like Modern Warfare and say I like it because it wasn't political. Okay, that's some real gamer brain thing.
Okay, so these are actually...
It was a fun game. It was a good game. It supposedly had a really amazing campaign. To be fair, as much as everybody shits on the Call of Duties, I'm pretty sure most Call of Duties are known for having like really good campaigns. Like Modern Warfare
Amazing.
2 was supposed to be in a really good campaign. I think everybody has like always said that. So
Yeah. What I meant by political, I used it wrong. I retract it completely. What I meant to say was like there was no like worry about like sensitivity shit, like blurring out the blood, blurring out this.
Yeah, it's
no
Call of Duty.
gore.
It's a war game. They're not normally like that. They're normally pretty
Yeah,
like.
it was really fucking fun, dude.
In this game, some of the complaints, it was about the political nature of the game. Some Russian streamers couldn't play it because they saw, their countrymen killing people, et cetera, et cetera. One, do we think games are getting too visceral now that graphics are getting so fucking good that we can do crazy things in games that we probably can't do the same in cinema and movie? And two, do you think that is it difficult to
It's a
use
video game.
is it difficult to use real life and real world examples instead of like made up countries and a made up world? Because when you use the real life world in made up scenarios, things get murky because people criticize and complain about their region or their nationality doing atrocities. In a make-believe world, then you don't have to worry about any of that shit.
Well, I think this is actually a really interesting question. It's not so much are they getting too realistic and violent or whatever. It's that is it so realistic that the resemblance to real world stuff is actually starting to become like maybe problematic, or maybe we should think about it. Like nobody plays Zelda and they think like, fuck, dude, in European history, like I didn't know that Ganon was like that influential. Like that's never going to happen, right? But there might be people that come away from a Call of Duty game that you're like, man, like Russia did a lot of fucked up shit, in the war or something like that, because like things are getting so realistic and they're drawing on inspiration from real events. Like maybe we should like pay attention to make sure there's some level of historical accuracy when it comes to portraying some of these things.
I say the direction games are going now with how good it looks is nice.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe we shouldn't base it off real events, like literally like killing Russians or like making it look like someone could probably get PTSD from these games, right?
Well, not just PTSD, but people might get the wrong idea about things. Like, say, what if we made like a crazy Call of Duty game and it kind of like centered around like uncovering conspiracies in the U.S. and they kind of like offhandedly mention like like we know there's a conspiracy here, kind of like when Bush caused 9/11. Like, imagine they start throwing shit like that into video games.
Do people want to play COD because they want to kill like terrorists?
Imagine if they said that Epstein didn't kill himself.
I don't understand. I get it, but is that like a main selling point in COD? Like, it seems obvious, but is that really why people want to play COD? Is because of how like
I think having some relevancy to real life stuff probably feels better. It makes the story feel more impactful, I would imagine. Like if it was all like fantastical countries, like would you really give as much a fuck about it if it didn't seem more rooted in like real life stuff that we can relate to?
Yeah.
Are there games in Russia, or is there propaganda in Russia that Americans are bad? Or are there in games that Russians kill Americans? Like, are there games there? Like, do we know this, or are we just defending and attacking one side, but the other is doing the same thing? Like, do we know this at all? Are there any games?
Do Russians even make video games?
I don't think Russia has any like big game studios.
Yeah, like, what do they do over there? They just like drink, right? No, like serious question. Like, they play our games. Like. Yeah.
The only other country over there I can think of that has like big game studios, this might just be my ignorance, but I know that like out of Poland came
The Witcher.
Yeah, The Witcher. What was the game studio that made The Witcher? The Witcher 2 and 3? Fuck.
That's
maybe
Polish.
CD
Projekt Red.
Yeah, CD Projekt Red. That's a big game studio that came out of Poland.
Yeah.
4A Games is owned by Ukraine, and they made Metro. So give it a few years, and maybe you could say that's a Russian game studio.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Okay, we're done with the political chat.
This is the thing, like especially with class. Like I have a lot of gripes about classic, and I think that there's a number of things that people are. There's a number of things that people feel about Classic WoW right now, but they don't know why they feel those things. And I think that Blizzard knows that people like Classic WoW, but they don't understand why people like Classic WoW. And I also think that people don't understand why they like Classic WoW, but I understand why people like Classic WoW. And I'm not.
Why
telling
do you think
guys.
people like Classic WoW?
No, I think there's a lot of things that there's like a lot of little parts to Classic, like as far as design goes, that Blizzard like they basically just screwed up on. Like they're just flat out screwed up.
You want to know what? You want to know the really sad story? What might be the real ass fucking reason? Are you ready? I'm about to drop the 4 IQ take. And honestly, it might just be that we played those games growing up, so that's what we like. We try to find a bunch of backwards reasoning to like justify it, but I don't actually know if there is. It literally might just be like we grew up playing those games, so we like it. My example for this is that some of my favorite games ever growing up were games like Phantasy Star, Shining Force, Final Fantasy VII, Final Fantasy VI, Zelda: Ocarina of Time. These games, I love them, and I'll always say like these were good games, and like I go back and play them, and they're awesome. And I have gone back and I have played them, and I did like them. You know what else I went back and played though that I'd never actually played before was Chrono Trigger, and it was fucking horrible. I don't think I made it through more than 6 hours of that piece of shit game. I was like, this is shit. It feels like a PG game. All of it is boring. The dialogue is cringe. The world is shit. Why the fuck would I care about this? And then it made me wonder, well, you know, I never played Chrono Trigger growing up. Maybe that's why I don't like it. Maybe I literally just like, you know, the Final Fantasy games and shit because I played that growing up, and that's it. I can invent reasons why I liked it, but maybe it was just a matter of like, that's a special time in your life. You play the game and you enjoy it, and you hold on to that nostalgia, just like you do with music growing up as well. Everyone here has a special spot for like 311 or Newfound Glory or Breaking Benjamin or whatever bands we listen to.
311.
Yeah, I don't know how old you got.
Well, I don't think you're completely wrong. I think to some extent you're right, actually. Because like if you've gone back to try and play GoldenEye recently, it's literally the worst game I've ever played. Like I was like, I can't play this. Like this is complete hot garbage.
Dude, I don't know. I always felt like that shit was super motivational. Like when you had like that trash talk war, I never wanted to be good at a game as bad as when somebody shit talked me for being bad. It's like, no, I'm gonna be fucking better than this person.
I feel like Toxicity in League is different though. Now that I think about it though, the more I think about it,
well, the difference is that they're on your fucking team.
Exactly.
That's the difference.
Well,
like in StarCraft, someone wants to shit talk me. I want to shit talk them. That feels fucking good. I'll drop it all right on the line. If you win, it's on you. Yeah, hell yeah. But in team games, when your team is flaming or flaming other people on your team and making them rage quit, fuck, dude.
Yeah, but making them rage quit, what the fuck? You're that much of a pussy that somebody types some shit to you and you left the fucking game? Like, fuck
yeah,
you.
but if that pussy is your mid laner, now you're fucked because some dipshit on your team couldn't keep his fucking mouth shut. Like, who's the real pussy? The guy that's getting flamed or the guy that's getting mad at his teammate and fucking flames at him? Like, fuck.
Dude, the person that's fucking leaving the game, like, I don't. The person that's leaving the game is the one that's he's the bigger pussy, and then he's the one that deserves to be banned because, like, at the end of the day, somebody's pissing you off on your team. You can mute them. I can't mute you leaving the fucking game.
Okay, well, the only game more toxic than League of Legends is Overwatch. By the way, 100%.
You think it's more toxic?
I have never played a more toxic game in my entire life. Now, I don't really play League or Dota, so I don't really know those experiences.
Oh, okay. Well,
nah, Dota community is just insane.
Maybe I was the toxic one. Fuck.
I must, unless it's changed significantly. Overwatch was nowhere near as toxic.
No,
if for no other reason, just
Yeah.
because there was a voice chat, it's really hard to be like super toxic in voice chat.
Here's the issue: in League of Legends, you can still solo carry, and in Dota, it's a little bit harder. But you can still solo.
What?
I can't.
Just stop. Stop talking.
I can't do
Stop
this.
talking right now, please.
Overwatch is the hardest game to solo
You think
carry.
it's harder to solo carry in Overwatch than it is in League?
What he's saying.
Oh no, that's
Wait,
not a
comparison.
Every game of League I've ever played.
Let me help Slash.
Dude, every game of League I've ever played, I solo carry.
Comparison to League of Legends and Overwatch.
Overwatch is the hardest game in the world to solo carry in. You cannot win if your
I
team
don't
does
know about this.
Okay, I don't know about that.
I
But you said
agree 100%.
League and Dota, like
they made it so you can really
and because you can't win, it is the most frustrating experience.
Yeah.
Because you cannot solo carry. It is harder than League or Dota to solo carry.
How long do Overwatch games last though if you're getting shit
Now,
stuff?
this is a good. You can lose in like 10 minutes.
Okay,
Yeah,
in
10
League,
minutes.
you're committed to
Yeah,
30
you're
minutes
trapped.
of fucking hell.
Yeah,
You're
no, that's
trapped.
why the
Absolutely
toxicity. That's why the toxicity is. When you say worse, Slasher, I don't know. I don't think it's worse than an Overwatch.
I think it might depend on the role you play too, maybe, and like
'cause
might
you
influence
play-
it. Like if you play like top or certain jungles, you probably have an easier time solo carrying than maybe like certain
So,
mids or certain
I
ADs, depending on
remember,
switch share. I don't know.
oh,
Yeah,
man,
like I was really
yeah.
shit at Overwatch, but I played that game like fucking 3 years ago. I remember playing Tracer or whatever. I don't know if it was 3 years ago. What? But, like you could like sitting back and like killing people as they come out of spawn and like doing like crazy plays on like a carry hero like that, like on a Genji or a Trace. You could kill like so many people. Like getting
No,
like a
it's way different.
quadra
I mean,
or a
it's-
pentakill in League where you're going 100
You're talking about old Overwatch.
Yeah,
Has it
Day
changed
one
significantly
Overwatch.
recently?
Yeah.
It's not like this anymore.
The
game
entire
is
game is
trash.
shields and barriers.
Okay,
I mean,
maybe it's
Overwatch
actually
is just
changed so much. I might not
seeing
know.
Dude, I dare you to watch an Overwatch professional match.
Ugh.
It is not good.
Does anyone think that the apology was good, and that Blizzard did a good job of addressing the controversy? In fact, does anyone think it was good?
Dude, I'm a corporate shill, and even I think it wasn't good.
They're just waiting for it to move on. Like nothing's gonna happen. It's just
Agreed.
corporate bullshit until things.
Yeah. Okay, Conrad?
I think the second question was, does this show that gamers are so fickle that all they'll do is protest online, but then buy all of Blizzard's products after? And that none of this shit actually matters. All of this protesting is complete bullshit.
Yeah, of course.
Dude, everyone
Yeah,
just
of course.
wants to be offended anyway. Like a lot of the people didn't even know that there was like a problem with Hong Kong, and then they just like they heard it online. They're like, "Oh shit, now we can shit on Blizzard," and they just go with it.
It's easy to take a stance on something when you've got nothing to lose. Like everybody can always talk like big talk, but like when it comes time to actually like having skin in the game, you know, everybody likes to think they do the right thing in the right moment. But the fact is, people can't even make basic changes to their lifestyle, you know, if they actually believe in something. So they either don't believe in it that much, or they're unwilling to sacrifice for it, which is more or less the same thing. So.
Okay, this sounds kind of crazy. I couldn't really tell. Like, were people more mad about Hong Kong overall or the Blitzchung, or what would have happened to him? Because if it was really Hong Kong, then there are a bunch of companies that have that China has more shares in than Blizzard, right? Am I crazy?
Yeah, like Tencent owns 100% of League.
Exactly. Right. So I'm confused then.
There's this huge internet outpour of rage against China, kind of, in favor of the Hong Kongers, kind of, and then Blizzard just became a new conduit through which a lot of the internet could express its rage. A lot of people probably piggybacked off of that already kind of sort of just hate Blizzard, and that's it.
I don't know. I just think it's weird because like the people that pretend to be super like into the whole like China politics thing, they'll talk about the Hong Kong thing. They won't talk about the Uyghur thing at all. Like you'll say that word and they'll be like, "What'd you say?" Like, then I don't know. Like it's just, it's so strange to me because like when I started going down the black hole, like where I was, or like yeah, when I started going down, and I was like, okay, let's try to figure out like what's actually going on. The thing that attracted me way more was obviously like the Uyghur situation.
The literal fucking Holocaust.
Yeah, like the camps and everything. Like that's just so crazy.
The organ
Wait,
harvesting, the separation of children.
Yeah,
what are you
that
talking
was
about?
so crazy.
Yeah, I've no idea.
So apparently, so there's like 11 million. I mean, Destiny could probably explain it better, but there's pretty much like the systematic like cultural like genocide.
Erasure. Yeah, there's
yeah,
basically a group of people
Muslims.
in Western China, a group of Muslims that China is basically trying to completely erase their culture. And there are a lot of ways to go about doing this. They basically abduct these people, they send their children to re-education camps, and then they separate the parents out and they send them to other types of re-education camps. Supposedly they're harvesting organs. Some of these people are maybe being starved to death. It's really hard to get information out of China about this, but they're literally trying to erase these people.
They have like apparently like the most crazy like tech like identification program in the world, where they like install like spy apps on your phone and shit. And like all these people, there'll be like millions of people in these camps, and every single move that they do is completely monitored by the government. Like it's so fucking crazy, right? And then like I started like trying to bring, I was like, oh, the free Hong Kong thing. Like when I wasn't educated on any of this. So then when I started looking at like all of it, I was like, wait, how is this not being talked about? But the Hong Kong thing is just like the number one piece of news. It's so weird.
Jesus, dude.
Yeah, it's insane. It's like a modern day Holocaust, like literally.
Like 17-year-old kids are pretty fucking dumb. And like if they're gonna make a mistake
look
like
at the
this,
people
it's
on
gonna
this
affect
show.
their entire
Everyone's still
life.
fucking.
Yeah, well, I know, like I think
Yeah, maybe
Destiny
dumb,
would
but
be
I'm
able
not
to-
banned from Fortnite. Yeah.
Destiny would be able to impact this, but like, isn't it like that? Like younger males are like their like decision making is not fully developed till like 25 or something. And
Yeah,
that's why
younger
we're all-
everybody's decision making is until 25. People are
And
dumb.
that's why that's why we
Holding
treat,
people
like,
massively
like,
accountable
they're
for shit they
younger.
do when they're a fucking teen is dumb as fuck.
Yeah, so like I think like
Fuck you.
a permanent ban that like for his entire life for a career for uploading YouTube videos seems like a little harsh to me.
Yeah,
Like,
I would-
Yeah.
Destiny, what's teen though? Like, where's the cutoff for teen?
I mean, even 19, like, dude, people do, even in your early 20s. But I mean, like, we can say like at least 18 is like, but anything
see.
18 or
I
older
feel
or
like
younger, you're doing some like real
19's
dumb
pushing
shit.
it.
Cheating just destroys FPS games because there's no point to play. As soon as, especially for games like CSGO, as soon as you know there's a cheater in the game, you know you're in that game for fucking 35, 40 minutes and you're fucked. Like, it ruins the fucking game. Like,
It really sucks that there's like no balance, but this is the only upside to making a game cost full fucking price, $60
That's so true.
is getting banned hurts. Free-to-play games have always, every free-to-play game has been scourged by fucking cheaters. Or CSGO where they do a big ban wave and then they sale the game for $2. Like, yeah, like the nice thing about full price is that it's really hard to be like a crazy cheater. I don't remember, I could be wrong, but I played it quite a bit. I don't remember many cheaters in Call of Duty. Maybe it happened in the battle royale, or at least not when I played, when it was a full price game. But like in CS:GO and shit, or in fucking Fortnite, or in Apex, like, or in I don't know.
So right now, XQC, the problem is that like people on Twitch, like they're all talking about like Twitch versus Mixer, right? Mixer has 3% of the market.
Okay,
Like,
okay,
YouTube already has the
Mixer
market.
is not, for now. Mixer is not going anywhere. Okay,
Yeah, for sure. So here's the problem. Like a lot of people are looking at YouTube as a product as it is now, not acknowledging that they can make a couple of pretty simple UI changes to make that better.
I just don't
What's
understand
really
why
hard
they
to do
haven't
is get
done that.
users. And they already have the users.
Yeah, exactly.
So-
yeah, you're
yeah.
right. You're right. But I think their track record is so trash on YouTube that I can't see it. I'm waiting for anything at all. Give me anything, the least. But they're not giving us shit, which is why it's so difficult to
They
see
haven't
how
made a
they-
push into it yet. They haven't become very serious about it yet.
Well,
They
they're
haven't.
making those to buy
Ha-
fucking
really?
creators
Hasn't
like Twitch.
YouTube?
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
Hasn't YouTube tried to
Well-
make some serious pushes multiple times? Like YouTube Gaming failed so hard they had to roll it into the main product. Like
Steven's correct.
Yeah,
YouTube
what was
gaming,
the total
YouTube
investment
gaming
of
was dumb.
gaming versus what Stadia is now, and the entire gaming initiative that they're doing here, which is a multi-billion-dollar project from Google.
Well,
It's-
yeah,
it-
but
it's- it's
wait.
unprecedented.
So this might be when you say multi-billion-dollar product. So that's a big number. Are we talking? Is this for talent acquisition? Is this for actual like engineering on a new platform, or what is this multi-billion-dollar deal? What is the $1 billion being spent on, or multiple billions of dollars being spent
So
on?
this is a really long conversation, but this is a push into basically owning live streaming and VOD content and gaming via Google. It's an initiative via them to control this content so they can leverage it against their Google AdWords service.
Okay, that sounds really cool. So here's two things. The first thing is obviously the skepticism because it feels like, I could be wrong, but it feels to me like YouTube has made pushes like this multiple times, at least two times in the past for streaming content, and they failed. Here's like a second thing to kind of put into numbers or a more formal question of I think what XQC is feeling, but can't put into words. Even though we can talk about how many users there are per day on YouTube, and then we can talk about how many users there are per day on Twitch, those users are engaging with different products that might not necessarily be comparable to one another. So for instance, there might be some X million number of users on a television station, but we wouldn't compare those one-to-one with the X million of users on Twitch because those are two very different products. It could be that even if YouTube is bringing in millions of users, that maybe those users prefer to engage with videos more so than streams. So anybody that's ran, and you'll know this, anybody that's ran a YouTube or a stream knows there's a little bit of cross-pollination that goes on there, that YouTube members will become stream viewers, but it's not very much. Even PewDiePie, a guy with almost 100 million fucking YouTube subs, struggles to get, 20 or 30,000 people on stream? That's 20 or 30,000 is a pretty small
PewDiePie
number.
streams on DLive, first of all. And second of all, there are tons of successful...
Before he was on D-Live, though, he was like 20, 30,000 viewers, right? Yeah, when he was on Twitch, which is, again, not that much given his YouTube audience, right? You would expect to see a way bigger, even a 1% conversion on that would be almost 1 million live viewers, or a 0.5% engagement would be 500,000 viewers. Like,
Every single concern you guys have is literally fixed by one change in the algorithm. All they need to do is let's say if you type in something like Fortnite plays, or Fortnite top plays, which gets millions of searches per day, and they show a live stream at in the top 3 instead of a video.
No.
yeah, but why haven't they made these changes? Why
Let
haven't
me
they
tell
made
you the
these
fix.
Why would they want to do that?
You just
Only a couple hundred.
you need to separate the two. You need to have listen.
They did that and it didn't work.
At the very top, there needs to, at the very top of when you go to YouTube.
Where they literally tried this and it failed so miserably
It
that
was
they rolled their live streaming
miserable.
platform. Yeah,
Yes,
into
it's called
the main product.
gaming.youtube
Okay,
and
look,
it
I'm gonna
failed.
give a
YouTube
caveat.
gaming is a
You guys
fucking
are actually
dead fish.
so pig on this. I'll take on the
Fuck
whole
YouTube
fucking
gaming.
world.
I'm talking
You have
YouTube.
no
I'm
idea what you guys are
talking
about.
YouTube.
Dead
Wait,
fish.
the problem-
Dude, I'm talking YouTube.com.
Good
At the very
comeback,
top, you have
XQC.
2 links.
Your literal
Listen.
only comeback to me is I'm old. I'm fucking old because I understand this shit and I spend research on it.
That's why you're old? I thought it was because you lived for a while. Holy
Wait,
shit.
so I think the problem is that like the
know
problem
what
is
I
that the problem is that like when we say that like, oh well, it's a relatively simple fix to do it, the only question would be like YouTube made real efforts in the past to get into the streaming
No,
space.
they've done nothing like that compared to what they're about to do. Google has never done. It's like saying that like there's a difference in investment in Google between like Gmail and Google Plus. Right? Like
I mean, Google literally spun off like a whole new gaming.youtube brand in order to do YouTube streaming. Like they
YouTube spun off YouTube Gaming to try it, and then they've been working on it ever since. And it's an iterative process. Stadia is their attempt to make it an actual big thing. It's the first multi-billion-dollar investment that Google has made in this.
okay.
And they've expanded their team vastly. In the past year, they've literally tripled their team at YouTube. And they're making a serious on
What
just
does
gaming.
Stadia
And
have to do with acquisition of talent or infrastructure for streaming?
Stadia
like,
is Stadia and the gaming production studio that they're making is the initiative behind YouTube for them to do this whole
Dude,
thing.
every
So,
time
wait. Stadia is literally just like a cloud gaming service. I don't understand how that has to roll into streaming or what. Like you can talk about
No,
billions of
Stadia-
dollars.
An enormous part of Stadia is the live streaming aspect to YouTube. That is a huge part of the initiative.
Wait. What kind of streaming aspect are you talking about? Because
That you
Stadia is
can
about
create-
streaming. cloud-based gaming to your computer. It's not about like live streams.
Yes, it is. You can create shards that you can participate with your friends that you can live stream to YouTube via Stadia, and any of the games that are on Stadia can be live streamed to YouTube in real time. They're redesigning YouTube as a whole to support Stadia and restream at the same time.
It feels a little disingenuous to say
like-
they're investing billions of dollars into like video game streaming. That's not what the billions of dollars are being exclusively invested into. It's making a whole platform to stream games off of like cloud servers. They might be trying to mix live streaming into it, but like just saying that like, oh, well, because you're presenting this as a multi-billion-dollar initiative into live streams. That's not what it is. It's developing a new. No, that's absolutely not what it is. Do you want to like we can bet on it right now? That's absolutely not what Stadia only is. That might be part of the initiative.
You've
but
already
the main
demonstrated that you have no idea what the product is because I just told you what it was. So
Okay.
are you sure that you want to have this fight?
The lion's share of what Stadia is a cloud gaming service. Do you
Yes.
agree or disagree with that? Yeah.
I
You
agree
understand
with
that cloud gaming service is not live streams that you watch on Twitch. Do you acknowledge that?
No. A huge part of the cloud gaming
What?
service is seamless
Wait,
with
what
it.
do you think? Hold on, you tell me. What do you think cloud gaming service means? What do you think that means?
A cloud gaming. What is the what's
Is
your,
that
what's your
there's-
outcome?
Wait. What do you
Yeah.
think that means? Because you just told me that I demonstrated no idea what I'm talking about. So you tell me, what do you think cloud gaming service means?
A cloud gaming service in this context, right, constitutes a lot of different things. What it primarily is a browser-based solution for gaming. That
Yes.
and tied into that is a live streaming aspect for all people to feature their content in real time on
Okay,
YouTube.
cool. I agree with that. So
Okay.
the primary
So
product.
it's fundamental to the product.
No,
Is it-
the
yes.
fundamental part of the product is being able to live stream a game experience to somebody that wants to play a game. It's a cloud gaming service.
They should
Now,
do
a
that.
Part of
side
it. That's part
initiative
of
might
it.
be live streaming, sure, but that's not the
Mhm.
lion's share of the work. That's not the main thing they're trying to do.
It's an
the
enormous part of what they're trying to do. I think we're just disagreeing on like the percentage of it.
Okay, maybe.
It is a streaming service in the sense that like it's streaming out to you so that you can play the game, but it's also a streaming service in the sense that you can stream it out to other people. And like a big part
Yeah,
of the
but
marketing.
nobody would watch this shit. Let's be honest.
But people watch it right now. It's like-
but
No,
you're, like,
but
watching
dude,
Steam-
like,
it's the second most
watching
watched
Steam.
platform that Twitch is.
Why are they watching Steam streams? Steam
Wait, what?
stream is the same thing. You can stream your games on Steam directly through cloud, right? Like,
Yep.
Isn't it the same sort of
Yeah, it
thing?
absolutely is. But the
Like,
only difference is
Steam
they don't have like
technically
YouTube.
That. Stadia, what you're talking, not Stadia, but like, if it's the same thing.
Steam is not a content-based platform like culturally, like YouTube is.
YouTube isn't a live stream based website.
Well, 20% of the audience of live streams would disagree with you.
I don't even know
I
if
have a
that
opinion.
even that number sounds a little suspect.
Cool,
So,
let me pull it up for you right now.
So, like, for example,
do
when
you
you
have, like,
talk about
the-
those numbers, wait. So, for example, when we talk about those numbers, doesn't YouTube or doesn't Riot have a literal like agreement with YouTube to incentivize people to watch it to collect like in-game skins?
Doesn't Riot have a incentive with YouTube? Wait, what do you mean?
Like, isn't part of watching like Worlds and shit? Doesn't YouTube partner with people to
Okay,
get people to
so-
consume like a minimum number of hours to watch like YouTube in order to acquire skins and stuff? Not to say that that's not like actual like viewership, but like it is, but it's not very
but
organic,
if we want
right?
to get into
It's
like our
so-
viewers real, like that's going to be really weird.
I mean,
on
Well, no,
Twitch
it's
as
not
well.
about if viewers are real. It's like if Riot cuts off that program, how much of that 25% disappears overnight because the viewership isn't really organic. It's just incentive driven.
There's incentive driven, and there's also the fact that there's like a distinct advantage to watching on YouTube, which is being able to like rewind the
Yeah,
stream. So
and-
like,
Yeah,
anyone
there
get
is
more
there is
stability.
superior technology, sure.
Mhm.
so
But,
yeah,
like,
I mean,
If we say that they have 25% of the market, but like 50% of that 25% are literally people just there to collect like in-game fucking gear or some shit, and then they're piecing out, like the 25% number doesn't carry as much weight. Not
I
saying
would
that's
agree. I think,
necessarily.
like, neither of us know that, like, know how significant that could be. And I would say that, like, in terms of, like again, like, we get into a really weird area of, like, how much of the World of Warcraft category is embedded from other websites on Twitch? Like, who are real viewers and who are fake? Like, we get into a real weird category there.
Well, not really, because I can assume that there's probably a bullshit random assumption would be there's probably a similar number of YouTube embeds versus Twitch embeds. There's no technological barrier to doing it with either, but there are specific incentives that certain companies are doing. So if you go to the LoL esports site, all of those streams are done like on YouTube, like streaming or whatever, right? And they
Guys.
give like specific awards in game for YouTube stuff. And if you go and you check out the YouTube streams at any point in time, a lot of those streams are tourney streams. If you go right now, their viewership looks impressive, but when you start to click and you look, it's all tourney streams. Are these people giving incentives? Because if so, that's not very promising for somebody breaking into the streamer market. It just shows a lot of companies that YouTube have cut
Guys.
deals with in order to like get viewership over there.
Guys, Overwatch. I think the best example to prove this is just Overwatch League, dude. I love Overwatch League. I don't have like a hard one against them, but a big, extremely big. I think big part of the audience is embedded viewership, in-client embedded viewership, and incentives to watch like tokens that you get from watching. I think there's a lot of
Somebody
ways
say
of
tokens. Sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you get like credits over time watching, and you buy skins in game, right?
I mean, I think I don't know. Honestly, I truly don't know like how much of YouTube is like incentivized to stuff. What I will say is like I think that a lot of the perception of YouTube from the outside is because like we as like creators just don't tend to consume this. So here's a tweet from FaZe which is showing a content creator playing for 146,000 live concurrent viewers on YouTube playing Minecraft.
Yeah, and the other day there's a guy streaming RP for 120K, but that guy had fucking bots, but there's no way to prove it, right? So that sometimes these things like you can't really take them for what they are, you know.
Doing like if I mount an argument and say like here's a representative of YouTube tweeting on a stream, you go, oh that's just bots, bro. I can't help you. Like I'm telling you, there are legitimate users on the site that are using it, and that like is YouTube lying then? Is are YouTube's representatives lying?
It is entirely possible that like this guy does have a lot of viewers on YouTube. I think it's possible YouTube could make a big break into the market, but I think people are burned by what happened last. You know, even if you don't take our bullshit word for it, which you shouldn't obviously, because you probably know more about this in terms of numbers than us. Back when YouTube gaming folded, there were a lot of execs in the streaming industry from multiple platforms that were on Twitter, like lighting them up over that shit, over the massive failure that YouTube gaming was. Twitter execs were there. That Justin guy that like one of the founders of JTV was there. There were a lot of different execs. I'm Slasher. You probably fucking cover this shit. There were a lot of execs from a lot of different industries that were commenting on that collapse, and it was a pretty big deal that YouTube flubbed that really hard. So I mean, like people are understandably, I think, left with a kind of a bad taste in their mouth about their last forays into streaming. Maybe with Stadia it'll be different, but I don't know. Like history doesn't seem to favor YouTube at the moment.
Can I be honest? I don't buy those numbers.
That's a question for you. That's a question for you. Considering the viewer base of YouTube, if they do the right steps with their interface, with their algorithms, why shouldn't YouTube be able to create competitive streaming platform to Twitch?
They shouldn't be able to create a competitive one. They should be able to crush Twitch. To me, it feels like the motivation just hasn't been there. That's what it feels like. And I said that in the past.
I agree.
It always feels like the YouTube gaming stuff has been some fucking dude has some great idea as a pet project, and YouTube lets their engineers work on whatever the fuck they want. A few people got together, spun up a project. They didn't really have a good long-term plan for it. They didn't have the funding for it. Whatever fucking reason, it fell apart, and it was just somebody's bullshit pet project, and it fell away. If YouTube were to make a concentrated effort into that realm, YouTube streaming technologically blows Twitch out of the water. You can stream unlimited bandwidth. The video on demand shit, my viewers actually missed it when I came back to Twitch when I was banned for 30 days and I could stream non-gaming content. That was insane. Like the VOD, obviously archival is infinitely fucking superior. Fucking AdWords is so much better than Twitch. Like, there's no reason why YouTube shouldn't be bigger than Twitch in terms of streaming. It just feels like they just haven't had the desire effort for it. And that's why even now, like with them trying to do it as part of another bigger product, it kind of makes me roll my eyes a little bit. But I think they really wanted to. They should be able to do it, I think.
In a tech industry, like all people talk about is user acquisition. User acquisition is so hard. It's the biggest issue that Twitch has to face right now because Twitch viewership is stagnating, and they're trying to figure out like how the fuck do we get people interested in this platform that weren't before. But what is so crazy about YouTube's advantage here is that they already have that problem solved. That's a massive problem that Twitch needs to address in this marketplace.
I'll tell you what it is. It's like such a big deal that like when you would read like analysts of like Twitter and shit, they would talk about how it's a failing fucking platform because they only have like 320 million users.
Like only
like it's like insane. Like only 5% of the world's population is on Twitter. It's a failed fucking platform because they're growing.
I have the hottest.
We're not growing fast enough.
Who do you think people who don't watch Twitch right now that may watch YouTube or other platforms? Who do you think they relate to? The PG-13 streamers, or do you think they relate to an XQC or a me or someone that just sits there and has random words coming out? I promise you, they relate more to
PG-13 streamers based on the viewership. 100%.
No way.
Course.
I don't believe
it.
I can't believe it, dude. There's no way. Like, are you kidding me? I'm talking.
But why are all of the PG-13 streamers the largest streamers? Why are Ninja and Shroud the ones being acquired by Mixer? Why do people like Pokemon and all of these other like super friendly streamers get the largest?
Ninja didn't get big because he's PG. Ninja switched to PG to get more sponsors and make 10 times more money. And sure, maybe he got invited to other places because of the PG, but he was going to be big regardless. If he kept saying shut the fuck up and fuck you scumbag in his games after each game, he would have been the same size, if not bigger. So he didn't switch the PG to get big. He switched the PG to become more friendly for ads and sponsorships for his demographic. 100%.
This is only one number that I'm familiar with, okay? There's only one thing I'm familiar with, but like I learned something when my kid started watching like YouTube shit, and he started watching like Minecraft videos, and I always thought it was like so weird. Like there are these guys, they do like the funny fucking voices or whatever, and I'm like, who the fuck are these like randos? Like these fucking weird people doing. And you click their channel, 8 million subs, 12 million subs, 15 million subs. Minecraft is the most watched game on YouTube by far. Like I don't know. I'm pretty sure like the PG audience is like. Yeah, that's like the audience. That's like the largest audience is like getting able to capture those kids in that show. Like, like more mature stuff is like really big, but like, damn, dude, that audience is fucking huge.
Okay, so here was my point. So I can finish the point. So I don't think Pokey or Ninja are big because they're PG. I think the PG came after they became big for whatever personal skills or personal entertainment values they had naturally. Now, here's the point I'm trying to make. Okay. I don't think so. So when we say Minecraft viewers, it's the biggest section on YouTube. So there's a huge PG viewer demographic base, whatever the hell. I don't think these viewers say, "Oh shit, Destiny says fuck every 10 minutes. I can't watch this Minecraft shit anymore." I don't think that's the case. I think if Twitch wanted to combat this stagnation, I think you need to make or have a section that may not be for sponsors or brand friendliness, but it needs to be something where you showcase streamers like XQC. You showcase streamers like, you know, in our category of streaming where, you know, we're not that bad, but, you know, we're not fucking clean.
If this was true, then why does all of the most popular media in the world strive to be PG-13? Look at how hard like superhero movies push. Like rated R ratings are like death sentences to a lot of these movies. They try so hard to get those PG-13 ratings.
They do it because it's more money for them, right? But it's
because more people watch them.
Because more people watch it.
Why does PG matter? Isn't it if you're just entertaining, if you possess that specialness, why are we acting like PG is the difference of whether someone will watch or not? I understand it's the difference of sponsorships. I understand it's the difference of money because of sensitive topics. You know, you're a liability more than your asset.
It's not that.
I mean, like, how many people have had the experience? How many people have had the experience where you're watching like a fucking anime, like a Dragon Ball Z or a Cowboy Bebop or some shit, and your mom walks by and somebody gets punched and there's like blood on the character, and your mom is like, "Hold on, there are blood in these cartoons? Not in my house." Like, it might seem insignificant to us, but like, imagine somebody's mom walks by and her son is fucking watching Destiny, and the first thing she hears is, "I don't think fucking your sister should be a crime." Like, that kid is never turning my stream on again. Okay, like this shit is fucking over, right? And that's the same for any number of like crazy things that we might say. Like, you permanently lose fucking small young viewers depending on the types of Squad W topics you talk about, or political topics you talk about, or the things you say while gaming or whatever. Like, you totally can lose viewers that way, 100%. Dude, I remember I had a friend, fucking Frank. His dad came over to my place because Frank wanted to get fucking Halo 1 because me and Kyle had it and we wanted fucking Frank to get it. And his dad wanted to watch me play through the game, and he was like really fucking skitsy about like all sorts of like blood or violence or whatever. Dude, I had to play the most try-hard Metal Gear Solid playthrough of Halo in my life, trying to avoid enemies, meleeing them in the back for the insta-kill, because as soon as I got to a point where I had to use my rifle and start shooting things, his dad was like getting like super fucking irritated. Like, is there really this much violence? And I was trying so hard to avoid. Well, no, look, like you drive like warthog shit around, but I'm obviously it was like the first level, so I couldn't get to any of that shit. But like, yeah, dude, parents are crazy, man. Holy shit.
So yeah, but I still think like Pokemon, Ninja, like I feel like they both were going to be big regardless of PG. That's what I'm saying.
No, no, that's not the point. The point that they're saying is like it's like about the pool of people that are in that target audience,
and it's about just like we're really disconnected from like the real world. Like, it's hard for us to see like what is real. Like, if I look at the I'll just look at this. These are the lifetime grosses by rated R versus PG-13, right? The number one grossing rated R movie in the US grossed $370 million. If I go to PG-13, I've got to drop to number 39 on that list to get to 370 million. There are 38 more PG-13 titles that grossed more than that.
What is a gross? What is that? What is
gross?
That
is like the total amount of money that you make before any expenses or whatever.
Shorty Guy just said, but by this logic, YouTube should go entirely PG-13.
There's some argument to that, actually. Like, honestly.
But if YouTube is bigger than us, then obviously the PG-13 grind and saying that it's only a small window to pull everything else is wrong. Doesn't YouTube?
But YouTube doesn't have to go PG-13 because YouTube isn't necessarily a unified brand. YouTube has different segments, right?
And you don't like so even Twitch has like Twitch Kids, right? Is like part of is that like a separate app or like? So I'm not exactly sure.
What is that? Twitch Kids?
Yeah,
what the
the
fuck?
Twitch Kids app, right? Like,
Holy shit!
that
I
whole
gotta make
thing-
sure my kid stays as far away from this as
Yeah.
possible. That sounds like some shit that
weird.
there's like 12-year-olds on it and like 60-year-olds on
I'm
it.
pretty sure it's a thing.
Looking for 12-year-olds.
Well, yeah, I think that's what it ends up being, but I'm pretty sure it's like a thing, and nobody uses it, and it's all messed up. But like YouTube Kids is massive. YouTube Kids is like a huge like part of the platform.
This is like a microcosm of the entire discussion that we're having. A Twitch Kids, if we mention it on the show, turns into an instant meme, a joke.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
how many horrible things can we think of instantly from Twitch
Jesus,
Kids? YouTube
dude.
Kids is a legitimate thing that has millions of users on it that works really well.
Mhm.
That's the
Well, careful on that works really well because there've been a lot of really creepy, weird algorithm abuse things with the YouTube Kids section, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Did they ban it so kids can't stream on there unless you're
No, not that. But they were very fucking creepy, weird videos that got on YouTube and would get like
Yeah.
20 million views because they would game the suggested video section that were very fucking weird, like shitty, weird animated CGI Disney characters that would like sit on each other's faces and do like really fucking weird shit.
Yeah, that's some weird shit.
YouTube got a lot of heat for that. It was insane.
Do you celebrate Christmas, Destiny?
I personally don't, but if I'm with Nathan, we go to like his grandparents' house and do it there. So.
That's so cute, actually. Do you have like Christmas socks you wear? Does anyone do
No,
that?
what
Does
the
anyone wear that?
fuck? No.
Have you told Nathan that Santa doesn't exist, Destiny, or no?
Yep, constantly. I never
Wait,
let
really?
him know.
Every day.
Does he believe you?
I did the same.
Good
I
night,
did the
Nathan. Santa
same.
doesn't exist.
Why?
The way that I do it is I want my kid to be comfortable to talk to me about anything, and I don't want him to ever feel like I'm ever lying to him. So I'm super honest when I answer him any question about anything. So yeah, I never
What
wanted
about,
to
the,
do
what about
the.
the Tooth Fairy? Did that ever exist?
Nope, I never did that shit either. Nope, none of those childhood fantasy
So,
bullshit. none of that.
Destiny will actually painstakingly answer every single question that Nathan asks truthfully. It's actually pretty wholesome to watch.
God damn, I loved hearing like because the way Destiny would respond, it was so like it was with a tone where you could tell like it's his father. He loves Nathan, right? Like he loves him, but it was with this like just very monotone, like no, you can't do that. I know what you're doing. No.
Yeah.
Have you asked your mom? Have you asked your mother? I know mom already said no, so why are you asking me? Like it's like he was piercing through the lies of a child, but with love. I can't explain. It was the best content ever, dude. Who remembers the one stream where Nathan, when Destiny was out of town, Nathan went on Amazon or whatever site, Steam, and bought like 6 games that Destiny said no to?
All the Five Nights at Freddy's shit. Yeah, fuck me, dude. Wait, did you ever hear about him? Did you ever hear about what happened with do you know Mr. Mooten? Did you ever hear anything about what happened to his account?
No, I didn't. What happened?
This is very funny. This is very interesting. So Mr. Mooten one day, he's just like, I don't think he's streaming or doing anything, but out of fucking nowhere, I get this message. Like I get like 3 fucking smiley faces and an emote. And then somebody messages me on Mr. Mooten's account saying like, "Hi, Dad," and they put like the little Pepe emote. And apparently they bought like 20 subs on Twitch, like random fucking streamers and shit. And Mr. Mooten like tried to get it refunded. He went through all this shit to secure his account to figure out what the fuck was happening. And like a month, no, I don't know how long it took. Maybe it was a few days later. I ended up walking upstairs. Mr. Mooten, Lucas, had come to my house like a few weeks prior, and he'd left his Twitch logged on my computer upstairs. And Nathan had gotten on his Twitch account and just started subbing to like me, my girlfriend at the time. I think he subbed to, I don't know, and then just like started like giving subs to people and shit on his fucking
You know what, dude? Since we're being honest, I want to say here that that account in Alinity's chat 5 years ago was not me. It was I left my account open at Destiny's house. Nathan went on it. Listen, that was not me. I'm letting you guys know that right now, okay?
True. I believe it. I see no reason why this would be.
How old was Nathan at that time? 2? 1 year old? What the fuck? Jesus Christ.
Kids are maturing early these days.
All right, I love you guys. Thank you for everything, guys. Please check out Destiny Dominate. Devin Nash, SNTV Canute, and Poke Lols, and then / on Twitter, guys. Thank you again. Love you guys. Bye.
Awesome show, guys.
Peace, boys.
I've seen clips of Train where like somebody's like, "All right, I'm flashing," and Train's like, "Okay, flash," and then the guy throws the flash grenade. Train rounds the corner and then he opens the case screen. He starts opening cases like literally.
Listen, dude.
A full flash. Let me open my case while I'm flash.
Listen, dude. Okay, Gordon does a show called Gordon Behind Bars. He goes and teaches inmates. So I'm thinking as a react Andy, if I'm sitting there making a joke, oh, this inmate that killed 6 people, he looks like a fucking clown. Next day I'm gonna knock on my door with a silencer to my head.
Could you imagine if Train viewers, if Train train gifted subs were to start committing crimes so that they could go behind bars and fucking shout out the stream while they're on fucking Gordon Ramsay.
Dude,
Can you imagine how horrible that fucking interview would be? Like, yo, what up, dude? Oh, what do you do? Oh, I'm a big fan of a guy called Trainwreck. Shout out. And then the next clip is like, so what are you in for? You know, like triple homicide? Like,
I was just there for 30 years. Motherfucker reaction to me, dude.
I'm not.
you
I'm
think
not
that a guy that's like hard as fuck, a guy that's been in, like fucking does like a 20-year bid, comes out and it's like time to load up Twitch TV and see who's talking shit?
Dude, there's a weird corner
Listen,
of YouTube
dude.
where like a lot of those
Like I've
people
got
make
fucking
content.
5G in the hood now. Like let's load up my fucking Twitch app on my iPhone 11 and see who's talking shit about me.
Might as well fucking
I'm the
get
reporter.
all the juice in one place.
Someone is snitching to me.
All the what?
All the juice, man. All the juice in one place, dude.
Oh, never mind.
You spent too much time arguing with YouTubers. You heard something different.
I just got really confused for a second.
You guys are so
I'm
like,
sorry, but I'm
anything
try-
for lol W's,
No, but
dude.
this
Listen,
is good. No, this is
No.
not for all W's.
No,
I'm
that's
doing
real.
this because I know your community train. By doing this is gonna get you more people to do this.
No,
right?
doing
I'm
this-
not trying to get you low.
Imagine it's like walking into some like civilization and like teaching them fire. You go into some like Nazi guys chat. You're like, hey guys, check this out. You gift them all like train subs. You're like, what if you guys say some real Nazi shit? Throw a squad W behind it. Do it on the
Yeah,
rest
but
of Twitch.
listen,
It's awesome.
I'm telling
We're
you.
in America. I could murder my wife and her
Jesus.
her what's fucking
Wait, did you say murder my wife and her husband?
yeah, I was gonna say, murder my wife and her boyfriend, and I could get away with it here in America.
Wait,
Wait, what?
It's like a complex OJ. Like
I'm so
throwback, like,
confused
what-
right now.
It was.
All right, okay.
Okay. Because all I heard was cockadoodle. I'm
so
I'm done.
yo,
I think it depends on the state. Like in Nevada, can't you actually have like a bazooka if you want?
Wait, what? I
Well,
thought
it's because
Nevada,
in
you can
Nevada,
have,
there's nothing worth destroying with a bazooka.
that is fucking true.
Not true. I was in Reno. It was an amazing place. I had a lot of fun there.
Like, I know like this big like oh dude all these girls but a lot of them like they just want to sit there and play games and talk like
I know.
like
dude,
all of us do,
fucking-
and they don't try to milk their audience for money and with their physical form or like these fake relationships. They actually just try to play some fucking games, yo.
Yeah,
And then-
seriously. And they already have to struggle with trying to play games with their fucking legs in the way and everything. God damn it. That's my only squad.
Okay,
It's ruining my fucking mind, dude. That's the only one tonight. Fuck me, dude.
Stranded.
God
Is it
damn it.
a mashable-